What is going on, everybody? Welcome back here to the channel. I'm Sean Davis. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button as hard as you possibly can and subscribe here to the channel. Turn on those post notification bells so you never miss a video. I'm going to pull out of the jar of optimism for today's video and kind of talk about if it potentially even why there's still some hope left for the Lakers and whether or not the Lakers actually kind of execute on some of the stuff I'm going to talk about in this video is to be determined. But I do think there is some just ground level of hope for this team heading into game 5. Game 5 is Wednesday night. So to get a little bit of an extended rest off today, off tomorrow as well, and then they play Wednesday night. I want to say it's 10 o'clock Eastern time on TNT. So actually no, I think it's actually ESPN. So no, it is TNT. Okay, I had it right the first time. So apologies there, but I do want to start this off by saying that this has not been the series I expected. Actually, in some ways, it has been the series I expected. I think the biggest reasons why I missed on this series, or it's pretty easy actually. It's number one, Anthony Edwards is just legitimately an insanely talented decision maker at this point. He's not a perfect decision maker. I still think you're going to, from time to time, have an occasional misread or just a decision making error from Anthony Edwards. Again, by no means am I saying he's a perfect one. Still flawed in a lot of ways, even. But what I will say about Ant is he has so drastically improved. Even within the series, I think he's improved as a decision maker and as a playmaker, being able to attack the Lakers when they do effectively zone up on him away from the ball. He's been spectacular when they've been able to do that. I think the second thing is I didn't necessarily expect Julius Randle to be this good in this series. I thought Randle could give him some potential trouble due to his downhill mismatch hunting, if you will. And like I said, Ant's been ridiculous. He hasn't even been this unstoppable two-way scorer, even quite frankly, yet. He's getting to the rim at will. 31% of his shot attempts in this series have been at the rim. Now, he is not shooting it well at the rim. He's shooting 48% at the rim in this series compared to 65% in last playoffs, the entirety of last playoffs, and 63% in the rim in the regular season this year. But what Ant is doing is he is obviously shooting the lights out from three, 43% from three on 9 attempts per game in this series. Roughly league average efficiency, true shooting wise, 58% if you round up. And then honestly, the one thing in this series that arguably the biggest thing and the biggest reason why the Lakers are down 3-1 is I envision this series being a really, really close series where the Lakers and the Timberwolves are fairly close, if not damn near tied up in almost every game in the last 4 to 5 minutes. And I expected the Lakers to be able to pull those games out consistently. And that's why I ultimately led Lakers in 5, Lakers in 6-ish. And then also a couple other things. I did not think Jackson Davis was going to be this useless. Austin has had the best series, but I don't want people to kind of overreact to Austin and some of Austin's performances. I think Austin, in the grand scheme of things, has been fine. And then I think the role players, you got a really good performance from Rudy in game 4, but outside of that, you haven't had like an outlier role player performance yet in this series. So those are the biggest reasons why I just missed on the series. This is why I still think there's a little bit of hope for the Lakers. And I'm going to start slightly with the obvious here. You only have to win one more road game. You only have to go to Minnesota once, one more time. You have game 5 and a potential game 7 at Crypto. You win game 5, and you take this thing one game at a time, and then you load up for game 6, which would be, I want to say, Friday night, and the game 7 will be Sunday. If you are able to win Wednesday night and get a game 6 Friday night in Minnesota, you got to kind of like your chances because now Minnesota's back is all the way up against the wall because Minnesota is trying to prevent at all costs a potential Game 7 on your home floor. Whereas if it was the other way around, then you're a little bit more worried off rip because now you have to go beat Minnesota in Minnesota twice to effectively have a shot to win the series. So that's number one. Just get that out of the way. The fact that you get to play in LA potentially twice when you are one of, if not the best home teams in the entire NBA. If we look at the entire league, the Lakers went 31-10 at home during the regular season. The only two teams, and it does surprise that these are the two teams. The only two teams with a better home record than the Lakers this season are the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Oklahoma City Thunder at 35-6 and 34-7, respectively. The Lakers have the second best home record in the Western Conference. So the fact that you get to play two more games potentially on your home floor is something you have to be somewhat excited about if you're the Lakers. Now, this is where the adjustment to kind of the what's next and the tactical side of things kind of kick in, if the Lakers even do this stuff. Because I've been asking for this stuff for several games now. The Lakers have consistently, I've seen a lot of stuff about how, look, man, the Lakers, they just have to hit their shots because the Minnesota is switching everything and playing with zero help away from the ball, and they're having heavy pressure. Well, what are the Lakers supposed to do? They're just supposed to hit their shots. And while to a certain extent, yes, the Lakers can absolutely do themselves a lot of favors and hit some of their open looks that they are going to get, or have Luka and Braun and Austin be able to be these high-level isolation creators. Yes, that is the easy route to success. And if that happens, hell yeah, we are ecstatic. But the Lakers aren't even trying to put the defense in a rotation and make the defense have to pay for the fact that you are switching defensively. And by the way, LeBron, to that point about your best players have to be good, in isolation, LeBron in the playoffs, 76 percentile isolation score per points per possession, 1.063 points per possession in ISO in the playoffs so far. Luka Doncic in isolation, 90th percentile isolation score, 1.188 points per possession in isolation. And then Austin Reeves in isolation in this series, he's operating at a 1 point per possession. He doesn't have enough possessions for him to qualify and be ranked, but Austin's been a good isolation scorer in this series. The problem is the Lakers pick and roll attack has been completely neutralized because the Lakers do not have a counter to the switching, which is why the Lakers have to change the screening angles. Literally, if the Lakers, the third quarter where the Lakers put up how many points? They put up 37 points or whatever the hell it was in the third. And part of that is because the Timberwolves idiotically started putting two on the ball with Luka. But even down the stretch, I want to say Rui had a big short roll pass to the corner. I think that's the Dorian three. I could be wrong. It was all because he changed his screening angle. I'm going to really quickly grab my board. It's right here. A big reason why changing the screening angles is so important, because if you go with a east to west ball screen, you are so easily. So we are just gonna Luka, and we'll say it's a Luka Rui pick and roll. And we have X-Man right here. Okay. If Rui sets a screen east and west going this way, when Rui rolls, this guy is just able to meet him at the spot and meet him underneath and jam him up. You have no advantage. You have no lob there whatsoever. And we can just play in the gaps. This guy's a good defender. He can shoot out. Luka has to beat us in space. Okay. I hope that wasn't confusing. I hope that made sense. Now, if we change our screening angles, okay, this is why this is so important. So we'll put Luka maybe right here. X defender. We'll go Rui pick and roll again. We'll go Rui pick and roll. Have Rui set the screen. Matter of fact, we'll have Jackson Hayes set the screen. Jackson Hayes sets it. X defender right here. If Jackson Hayes sets the screen on his man's back, Luka drives off. They want to switch. He is pinned. He is pinned right here. Hayes gets to roll, and this defender, the switching defender, cannot get in between the basket and Jackson Hayes, and that is a dunk or that is a layup, or we get the play out of advantage in the short roll. The defense has to collapse. We have to get a tag man, and that is where Luka is dominant as a playmaker. When Luka Doncic is able to manipulate the low man in ball screens. The Lakers have not made Luka or LeBron, and the Lakers, I mean JJ Redick, they have not made Luka Doncic's or LeBron's jobs offensively easy at all in this series. And the good thing as well is why I think there's some hope for the Lakers. Minnesota has not countered at all, actually, the Lakers' isolation defense. If we're being completely honest, they have not countered it in this series whatsoever. Minnesota is honestly skating by in terms of the isolation defense because they are hitting shot after shot after shot. They are playing magnet ball out here. That's why they seemingly cook. And then also the second thing is the Lakers just concede switches with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. And now Anthony Edwards or whoever just gets to operate with a numbers advantage or with a immediate mismatch with 3/4 of the shot clock to go. So there are still obvious adjustments that could easily still swing the series to give the Lakers at least some momentum, especially when we're talking about Game 5. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. A little bit of a rant for me at the end, but because the Lakers don't run offense, which is why they lost Game 4, and their players were just gassed. They played the entire second half. Counter the switching, force Minnesota to have to counter your isolation defense, and let's go. Gosh, this is irritating. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe. Go Lake Show. Peace out.